Alright, here's Rod. So, good things I see. Uh, Body position is good. Your hips and legs are riding high in the water, pretty streamlined. Head position is good. So you're not raising your head to breathe, you're just turning to the side, which is the way you want to do it. And your maximum reach forward is good. Now, an issue we talked about is that when you're reaching in front of you, you're crossing over or going right in front of your head with your hands, and that impact of that style of swimming is more what's what I'm trying to say. You can see it more when you're turning to breathe on either side, so not bad, not bad. And then see how your body even pushes off to the side there. So in open water, that would have a tendency to add a fair bit of swimming just by virtue of going slightly off course. So, long story short is that instead of reaching in front of your head or even across your head, as you can see on some of these, you're going to want to reach just directly in front of your shoulder. So left arm reaches in front of your left shoulder, right arm reaches in front of your right shoulder. And that'll solve that problem. Everything else as far as above water looks pretty good. So now underwater, the stroke you have here, I would sort of classify it as a straight arm style of swimming, meaning that as you're pulling through the water, your upper arm and forearm are staying in one line when viewed from the side. Now, when you view it from the front, you can see that your forearm and your hand rotate under your body a bit as you get midway through the stroke. That's not necessarily bad. A little bit of underbody pull as you go through the stroke is normal. You may be going a little more than you need to, but that would be lower on the totem pole of things I'd worry about fixing. So with the catch, with the underwater catch, what you're going to want to work on is what's called the high elbow catch, or the early vertical forearm style of swimming. And what that is as you reach forward, your hand and forearm will angle down or vertical towards the bottom of the pool. It starts with a shoulder rotation, so if you don't start it with a shoulder rotation, you never really get it very well. But it's like an internal shoulder shrug, shoulder rotation, if you recall that, talking about that. And here you can see some of what's going on with your forearms going under your body, as well as your hands reaching across your head when you reach forward. So it's just causing a bit of twisting motion.
Working on where's your hand entering and starting from.
So with the drills, we started out working on one arm to think about where you're placing your hand as you reach forward. So one arm can be used for arm placement, hand placement, as well as for high elbow catch, early vertical forearm work. So it's a versatile drill. This is one of the best ones you can do, because you can really isolate the arm and think about what you're doing with each stroke. So you can see here, looks like your right arm is going to have a bit more tendency to go in front of your head than your left. So, again, from the open water swimming standpoint, what that's going to cause is just some extra yards as you're swimming, and you don't want to swim any extra unless, if there's no good reason to. So working on the arm placement, hand placement when you're reaching forward. Definitely better. Still a bit going on as you turn and breathe, so whatever side you're breathing on, that opposite arm is going in front. That's pretty good. You can see a little bit there and then a little bit there, so that's going to be the habit for you to break. It could feel like you're really reaching wide, or you're really off the side, and you won't be. So work on that.
This is working on the catch. Good.
So this is working on the high elbow catch aspect or early vertical forearm, getting more of a catch, and you're doing good there. You can see your hand and forearm angling down towards the bottom of the pool more than they were the first time around swimming. Or if you see any sort of like rounding or an arc in the arm, it's a obvious improvement. The reason being, imagine if you got directional arrows showing you which way you're pushing the water.
That was good.
And if you're pulling with a straight arm, the first third of the stroke, you're really just pushing water down. If you have more of a high elbow catch or early vertical forearm, much sooner in the stroke, more water starts being pulled backwards with the hand and forearm. So this is good on this arm as well. So yeah, you're able to get the more correct angle with both arms, so
this is
something
working on just
certainly
trying to
keep
pull
working on.
straight back.
So in this 50 we talked about trying to pull your arms straight back so that your forearm and hand weren't angling under your torso as you pulled through the stroke. So different sort of aspect of not worrying about the catch angle or the high elbow catch so much as the line or the path that you're pulling, and essentially reducing the S motion or the arc that you had about halfway through the stroke. You don't have to get rid of it, but just you reduce it a little bit. It comes down to what muscles you're using as you pull, more back muscles as opposed to chest and arm muscles. So looking at your left arm here, good entry. Obviously you were rotated well on the other side. So you enter and extend. Maybe a little more rotation there would be good. So being slightly more on your side. And then you start the catch. And you can see the upper arm and forearm are just one line or one angle there. There's no differentiation in the forearm and upper arm. So that's called the straight arm pull. Now you may pull under your body a little bit midway through the stroke, but it's straight arm from the side. And here you can see your forearm sort of rotating a bit under your body right there. So more high elbow catch, less under your body pull, and that will pull more water backwards, which will push you more forwards, which will increase your speed or your efficiency, or you to just swim easy. So right arm, good reach forward, good rotation on this side. I don't know if you were breathing there. Yeah, I think you may be turning to breathe, which would increase the rotation. So nice reach, and then upper arm, forearm, more or less one line. So a straight arm style of pulling on this side as well. And then a bit of forearm rotation under. So yeah, work on the catch a lot, work on your hand placement or your arm position as you start the strokes, and keep working at it. Everything else looks good. Body position is good, kick looks fine, breathing is comfortable.